Okay. So let's create the app which will use the external functions. And to get used to this app, we will need to create another R script and load the data from our course, the counties and helpers. Just place them somewhere in your download folder. It doesn't matter. But these helpers, generally, they should be inside the same folder, and the counties inside the same folder as you are going to create the app. So counties, helpers, and app.r should be inside the same folder. I already pre-created this app. So let's just look at what is going on. Not this one, but example one. This one, I guess. Example one. Okay, so no, not this one. Okay, let's create then from the very beginning. So let's use the library, and we will need two libraries, and you have to install them, install packages. The first one is the maps, and the second one is the map approach. So these two libraries will allow us to interact with maps in R, and helpers. Okay, helpers is already here, and you can see the counties. This file counties RDS is here, and helpers is here. So counties will be our read our data counties RDS. Like that. So if everything is okay, it should be loaded. Let's stop. No such file or directory. More. Set as working directory. Okay, so counties is read successfully, and here is what it looks like. So it has some kind of the states, total population, and percentages of people of particular race. So white, black, Hispanic, and Asian. And we can see where are the majorities of white, black, Hispanic, and Asian peoples placed on the map of United States. So our percent map will be these counties, and here let's say white, and we create some kind of the color, the green, and we are going to use the percent white. Where is our percent white? Like that. Couldn't find percent map. Oh, nice. We need to use source command, and here you can see helpers, and we're going to use this helpers.r. So our helpers loaded. We can click here and look what's inside. And here is the function which is called the percent map. And specifically, this is the function if this, and so on. So like that. It is already pre-written. We just use these source helpers, and it loads us the specifically needed function %map to our environment. So %map will create the plot. Here's what it looks like. We can see the country, and we can see the majority of populations of white population. It is situated in these northern and central regions of the United States preliminary. And if we change like the black, we can look at another picture, and we can see that the majority of black people prefer living here in this kind of region. So there are almost no black population in the northern parts of the United States, according to this data. Okay, now we are going to use this interaction with the county's data and with this percentage map creation to create our app, which will show the same kind of plots, but allows the user to select either to plot the white, black, Hispanic, or Asian people population on the map. So in order for us to make that, let's just copy this thing, library. Okay, let's try. So let's try to copy one by one. So library Shiny is the preliminary app. Count is read.rds. This is the load data. Source helpers. This is %map. We don't need this function to be in place, but instead we create the fluid page, and the title page will be created with the census population. Then we're going to use the same kind of sidebar layout. Sidebar layout, sidebar panel, and inside sidebar panel there will be the not the slider input, but the select input. So here, title panel census app, slider layout, slider panel. Here, instead of a slider input, we create the, hold on, but we'll still need slider input. Yeah, we'll still need to show the percentage. So slider input will be modified like that, and the value will be from 0 to 100, like that. And we created like the range of population, and label number, maybe range of interest. Okay, so this is the slider input. Next, we need to create the select input. We'll call this the variable var. And here we create the label, which is the choose something. The choices is the variable which is the vector from possible choices, like percent white, comma, percent black, comma, percent Hispanic, comma, and percent Asian, like that. And also we need to find out which option is selected by default. Let's say selected by default this percent white, like that. And after we need to press comma. So our sidebar panel will have this list with 4 options and the slider inputs. And main panel will be the plot output, and here we just use the name map, plot output map. Okay, now after we have created this, we need to save. Let's cf save, and let's create the server and Shiny app over here. This is the server, this is Shiny app. So server will interact with the name of the function. So output will be output map. Render plot, because we will need to render this. Here we create data. And data will be created using switch. Switch got the option of switch var, and the choices which are available, we just copy them. So switch allows us to understand which option we have clicked. So if we clicked percent white, we will use the counties dollar white. If you click black, then it will be counties black, and so on. Dollar black, percent Hispanic, like that. And the last one, dollar Asian. All right, so here we created the data which got what kind of column from the counties data to get from that. Then we need to modify, this is the first option that we modified, this is data. Then next option to modify is the color of the map. So let's produce different colors of the map, and we copy data, and here's another data, and we call this data as color. So if our percent white, then we will create different kind of colors. So our colors will be like that. Like they're green by default. Dark green. Heroes will be black. Heroes will be dark orange and dark violet, like that. So we'll have besides which kind of data we plot, we're going also to get the color. And the last thing is the legend. So now the legend states for percent white, and it creates a legend using this percent white. So once again, we copy. And the last option inside the server will be the legend, which will be just a copy of that. Percent white, percent black, and so on. Very easy here. Why we need, again, data, color, and legend will be placed inside the function. So the function is percent map, like that. Here is the function. We just need to create the output. We are now inside the render plot. Render plot is the reactive environment. It started over here, it ends over here. So inside the render plot, we need to implement this function. And instead of countries black, we use data. Instead of dark green, we use color variable that we created. And instead the %white, we use the legend. So hopefully everything should be okay. And then there also, as we remember, here that we have interacted with the select input to perform all these choices. Also, we have the slider, our input, which allows us to select these percentage rates, right? So input ID, this range, has two values, the starting value and the ending value. Now the values are between 0 and 100. So let's also implement the percentage map. And if we look at the inside our files helpers, inside our percentage map, we can see that there is some kind of the interaction of how many percentages to cover inside the minimum and the maximum. You can see. So we specified the variable is the data, color is the color, legend is the legend, and now minimum and maximum. And let's use this minimum and maximum. Minimum will be input dollar, and here is the name, this range, input range, and one for in our every cycle starts with 1, and input 2 is the range 2. So from 0 to 100, here will be 0, here will be 100. Everything is set up. We save that, and let's run the app. Okay, I couldn't find function get symbols. This is pretty. All right, so get symbols. CPI thread. Okay, we need to. Where's get symbols? If exists inflation. Percent map. I think that percent map just works not correctly. Let's find out what's wrong. The whole thing is working incorrectly. So we need to find legend if exists inflation. We don't need that, I guess. This is the. So first shades, that's okay, then map, okay, overlay, okay, add legend, all right, legend, all right. So let's save that helpers like that, ending with the legend bottom left, and deleting everything which is going down. That cow, hi. So we have deleted everything here, and now hopefully everything should work fine without that. Yep, legend, legend over here. Okay, stop, and we run up again. Okay, now the app is working. I will click this option, and here what we see, here are the changes. The Hispanic I prefer in Texas, and left-hand side, Asians are situated mostly in the LA region, some part in New York, and everything is okay. So let's modify the percentage of white people between 50%, like that, or at least from 25 to 51, and we can see there are certain parts of regions which are not covered, from 25 to 100, at least 50 to 100. So it allows us to use, so Asians, at least from 50 to 100, they are situated over here, and the range of interest, which is 43% or more, or 32% or more. So we can see that the map interactively working like that. So the majority of Black people situated over here. Okay. So don't forget to stop this app. All right. Our app consists of external data source, which we use to load with the read RDS, counties RDS, our data source, and also uses external function helper.r. Inside our helper.r, we have this wonderful function which creates the percent map with the counties data set. So specifically, if you have this kind of data set, it will work okay. If you have different one, you might need to modify this function. But this app shows us how to use this external data. It shows us how to create two inputs, the the select input and the slider input, and it shows us how to collect the data to insert inside the function. So the arguments as data, color, legend, they are calculated from the input var. This var is the select input. And the last argument, range 1 and range 2, they are calculated from get from slider input. Okay, so so far everything is great. And now let's create another app, and inside this app we will use the let's say what we are going to use. We're going to create a dashboard. So inside this app we will need the package Shiny dashboard, the Shiny dashboard. So you will need to install it. Okay, we create the R script, and let's use some part of library Shiny over here, library Shiny dashboard. This app will create a dashboard like the dashboards which are created in table U. This app will have the sidebar. The sidebar will have two inputs, two selections, and the first selection will plot some. Let's say that we're working with iris data. It will plot sepal length and petal width or something like that. And the next selection will be cars, and this will be the task for you to create the plots based on the selection of type of car. Let's say we're going to plot the miles per gallon overweight or something like that based on the car's data set. So I'll create the first part of this app using the iris data set, and you are going to program the second part using the cars data. So let's create UI, user interface, will be, instead of previously we created the fluid page, now we're going to create the dashboard page, like that. Here we will have instead of the title panel, which contains this header, we're going to use the dashboard header. Instead, the dashboard header, there is the option title, and here's the graph app or okay. So this is the dashboard header. Next, we're going to use the sidebar menu. And this sidebar menu will contain two items. Menu item. First, we will call this the iris. This menu item has the tab name, and we will use the same iris here. It has icon, and icon will be, let's say, icon 3. Like that. The second menu item is for you. It will have the cars, and it will name car, and the icon will be car. Next, besides the sidebar menu, we have created only the left-hand side. We will have the dashboard body. Dashboard body is the same kind of main panel, right? So main panel in the regular food page is the dashboard body over here. So after menu item, close bracket, then close bracket, press comma, and create the dashboard body. Like that. Dashboard body will have two tab items. Items. So these tab items consists of one tab item which has the box. Inside the box there is the plot output. To produce the graph, we'll call this box the correlation plot, like that, and show it with the specific width in inches, and let's say 8. Then we will use the box which is get the select input, the same select input as we used over here, like that, select input. So our select input will through the features of our data set inside, and these features will be like that. Features. They consist of the vector, and vector, if we load the data iris over here, data iris, we will see the different values. We will see different values inside this iris. These values contains of 4 columns. So sepal length will be our initial column, which we won't modify, and the rest columns will be modifiable. And we are going just to select those columns to plot. Okay, like that. Sepal width, petal width, and petal length. Next, we will create another tab item for you just to modify later. So here after the second bracket, we place comma. tab items. Let's start tab items. Here is inside the tab item. Tab item contains box correlation plot with next box select input features and that. Okay, after that we create another tab item. This tab item will interact with cars, and for now we just use the fluid page, and later you will modify that with your H1 cars like that. Hopefully everything is okay. I guess so. Tab dashboard, dashboard body, dashboard page is closed. Title, sidebar menu. Okay, yeah, we haven't specified a very important thing. Before sidebar menu like that, we use this. Here's our sidebar panel, but we haven't specified the sidebar layout. So after dashboard header, we need to use the dashboard sidebar. So this is our dashboard sidebar. Here's our sidebar menu, like here. Press comma over here. Hold on. Dashboard sidebar, the sidebar menu, 3 double comma, menu item cars, like that. Then here is comma over here after dashboard sidebar. Then there is the dashboard body, tab items, box, tab item over here, box closed, tab item closed, tab items closed. Looks like something is missing. Dashboard body. Okay. Okay, hopefully maybe another one to dashboard page. We'll think of that. And finally, we need to create the server function. Server function will be easy like the initial function over here. Let's use this copy. So server function got input and output. Output, our dist plot is called right now the correlation plot. Render plot, and here will be just the plot. Iris dollar, which kind of we haven't used the first option. So iris sepal length will be initial one, and iris inside double square brackets input dollar these features, input features xlab will be sepal length like that, and while up will be the feature. Hopefully it should work. Let's save it as homework. Save, run app. Okay, what we see here, see nothing so far. That's bad. That means we need to modify this function somewhere. Okay, let's try. It should show the input. It should show. Okay, Okay, dashboard page, yes. Title, graph app. Maybe these are extras. We don't need them. Dashboard sidebar menu. That's okay. Menu item. Iris with the tab name with the icon 3. This is okay. Menu item cars with tab name cars with icon. That's all right. Close. Dashboard body open. Tab items open. Tab item. Tab item. Yes. Here we have to specify how this tab item named, because the second one named is like that. Tab item iris. This tab item has two boxes, sorry. The first box is plot output correlation plot with 8. The second, select input features sepal petal. The next tab item cars with the fluid page H1 cars calls the stats 1, 2, 3, maybe like that. Let's shiny app. So okay, we need to close dashboard body and dashboard page. Yeah, okay, now it works. We have to specify, let's say, the petal length, petal width, and we see that the box plots is written. And the cars. Cars should be modifiable. So if iris is over here, cars should not be presented. So we need to modify, first of all, you will need to modify, first of all, how to get rid of the cars from the iris. And once you click these cars over here, this box plot should be rewritten with another box plot. Oh, I'm talking about box and the plot inside the box, not the box plot. And it should be rewritten with another plot over here. So what should we modify in order for this to work? I have two tab items, dashboard body. Yeah, so far it looks all right. You just need to modify how to create the select input according to the tab item cars. Maybe it's better for you to just copy that and modify that instead of this fluid page, and hopefully it will work better for you. Okay. So in order for you to get used to our functions, here what the functions we have created. The render plot, which got some kind of the data, set these bins for the histogram, creates the histogram. You might use this kind of thing to plot something inside just but using the cars data set. Or you might, so you'll have to create the outputs using not the correlation plot, but another item inside the cars. So once you copy this instead of the fluid page, you'll have the different correlation plot, and you will interact with output dollar, let's say correlation plot 1, and you render plot using not iris but cars with the specifics of the inputs inside the cars data set. Here you select the features from not the features, but maybe features 1 from another select input. So the first select input has the features with the small letter F over here, and it has the large features which is just the name. the name. So here's the name. Let's say that we modify that and reload the app, and we can see the feature's name. But the name itself, this is like the title, right? And this is the name of the interaction. And we can see that R uses this name inside the input value. Okay,